Hello, it's Tuesday of DE week. It's 9 o'clock, so it means it's time for our principal call, sponsored by Band of Brothers. And right on my banner, it says, "Nothing is bigger than life." And I think we're going to have a speaker tonight that really emphasizes that nothing is bigger than life. But before we do that, we have some announcements. So guess what? There's only 2 days left. I hope you all have your plans, but it's never too late. It's the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. Just get in touch with Kat at the DE office, and she'll get you in, and you'll be ready to go to share the love. And then there's a little bit of a change. It's going to be on Friday morning at 9 a.m. It's going to be the CA breakout session. It used to be on Saturday in the afternoon, but we're switching some things up, and everybody knows change is good. And then last but not least, we have the Connect groups. I really, truly hope that there has been interaction between all the different color teams so that you're growing and expanding and sharing everything you need to be more successful or to help someone else to be more successful. And so I'm not going to spend much time talking about other things. Just know that Dr. Jennifer has a big heart. And really a goal of hers is to share the chiropractic message, not only to her community, but also a little bit more outside of her community. And she's done television to present all kinds of things about chiropractic and our mission and our message. So take it away, Dr. Jennifer.
Honored to be here with you guys. I think I might. Okay, excellent. So it's an honor, and like Mindy says, I'm grateful, and nothing is bigger than life. And funny story is, I started out as a chiropractic patient with Dr. Walter Sanchez, and what a great opportunity to get connected to the principle, to get connected to life and what life is really about. At Walter's office, I got invited to actually his wedding, and at his wedding, I met one of his best friends, Dr. Steve Friedman, and he actually told me about DE. And I went to DE. Right after that, I got to stay at Walter's niece's house, and it changed my life. And I love Nothing's Bigger Than Life. When I started to go to DE, I actually changed my major. I was studying international marketing and decided to change it to chiropractic because God touched my heart that this was the way for me to serve the community. And I would go to our Saturday Night Live meetings that we have in South Florida once a month. And as a chiropractic prerequisite student, one of the things I decided to do was actually put this sticker, "Nothing is bigger than life," in the back of my truck. And I would just drive around with that sticker. I think at the time there was either a banner or an 800 number that people could call to make appointments. And I literally had that in the back of my truck. I wish I would have taken pictures of that, but it was great. It was great. So in the current office, I was telling Mindy about this. I actually moved my practice to my new location about 2 years ago. I was practicing in one town, and I moved my practice about 15 to 18 miles closer, and I'm literally 3 minutes from home. And one of the things that I want to do in one of the walls is exactly put that: nothing is bigger than life, because we serve life, we receive life when we receive an adjustment, and we've got to love life in everything that we do. And so there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and I wrote 4 key points, right? Number 1 is we want to get grounded. We want to get grounded in our everyday, in our everyday actions. We want to get grounded right before we walk into the office, and we want to get grounded as we're actually providing that adjustment. And what does getting grounded look like to you? I know for me, getting grounded looks like a walk in the morning in my neighborhood. Getting grounded looks like exercise, right? Getting my physiology up and quieting my mind through exercise. Getting grounded for me looks like worship music, reading the Bible, reading the Word, whatever you can read that's spiritual to you, that actually connects you to getting grounded. Getting grounded before walking into the office looks like reminding myself right before I walk through that door that nothing else matters from that point on except the person in front of me in the office, right? No looking at my cell phone, no worrying about anything, no worrying about any of my personal stuff going on except the person that is right in front of me. Getting grounded before an adjustment looks like taking a deep breath in and visualizing that that person in front of you could be a representation of your mother, your child, your spouse, and making sure that every adjustment we give is the best adjustment ever, and also fully connecting. If you have a high volume practice, you know that we have anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes to give the best adjustment we can. And that person feels like it is a 30-minute appointment if you're 100% present. And in order to be 100% present, we need to be grounded. We cannot be providing an adjustment thinking about the next person. We cannot be providing an adjustment worried about what's going on at home or what's going on for us Florida people if a hurricane's coming. I honestly don't even worry about hurricanes until the day of or the night before. That's when I really start to prepare. I don't let TV tell me what to do or what to worry about, because what truly matters is the present and the person that's right in front of me. So how do you get grounded? Getting grounded is very important. Getting grounded also looks like fasting from TV, not watching TV, not watching the news, and not looking at your cell phone all throughout the day, right? When I'm in the office, my cell phone does not exist. My family knows that if they need me, they get to call the office. And other than that, unless it's an emergency, I don't exist except for the patients in front of me. The other thing that I want to, and we spoke about being grounded and being present, right? That was actually the second thing, is being fully present. In today's day and age, we are using our cell phones a lot, we're using the computers a lot, and our brain is jumping from place to place. And it has become so hard for people to be fully present with each other. And so I want you to learn to be present with each other. Put your phone away. Please do not use the phone in the office, and be present. One of the most beautiful things that we got to experience, so those of us that have been around for a while, was Dr. Sid walking up to us and shaking our hand and being present and connecting eye to eye, right? He didn't do that and then check his phone and then shake the next person's hand, right? Dr. Sid was always 100% present and 100% connected to each and every one of us. So tap into being grounded, tap into being present, so that 1 minute with whoever you're with, whether it's somebody that you're serving in the office, whether it's your CA, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your child, 1 minute, 5 minutes can seem like a lifetime, because being present is something that we are not doing and something that we need to do to give our best to every human being in front of us. The third thing I want to share with you guys, it's one of the biggest principles that DE is all about, and is to love abundantly. Love is one of those things that the more you give, the more it multiplies and the more it comes back to you. I love to love upon those people that we take care of in our office by being present with them. I actually love gifting. That's one of my love languages, is to gift. And so I love gifting for our patients. Sometimes I'll be at a little store and I'll find something that makes me think of one of our patients, and then I'll gift it to them. I love to buy planners and journals, right? And have little notebooks, actually. And what I do is, when we talk to somebody and if they're having a hard time, I gift them a little notebook and I tell them to journal and to write about it and just vent into that paper. And if they write something that they don't want their family members to read, I tell them to just tear that page apart and just let all that frustration out there. But you want to be able to love abundantly. And for me, one of my love languages is actually gifting. Hugging abundantly. People actually are surprised sometimes when you hug them. Once we do the doctor's report and they receive their first adjustment, I give them a hug and I say, welcome to our chiropractic family. And some people are a little bit taken back, but most of them are so happy to get that hug. And then they feel like they've really become part of our family. So make sure that you love abundantly. Call another chiropractor that you haven't seen for a while and love upon them. It's really easy to stay together and be in that DE love, DE high. But you know somebody that hasn't been in for a while, reach out to them. Or if you know somebody that needs to come to DE, reach out to them. It's happened with me, right? Many years ago, I had dropped out of DE and Dr. Becksher called and said, are you coming to DE? And how do you say no to Dan? I'm like, yeah, I'll be there, right? Just the other day, Josh Howie said, are you coming to DE? And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. So just reach out to somebody, because sometimes that phone call is accountability to get back on track and get back to DE, because DE is home. DE is like our spiritual chiropractic church where we actually recharge our batteries and we shed. And if you're listening to this and you haven't been in for a while, have this be a sign to come back in, right? If you're feeling drained, if you're feeling like you don't have any answers, if you're feeling like you just want to come and you just want to be left alone. I have done that a couple of, I think probably 2 or 3 years ago. I came in and I just sat down and I would walk to my room and cry. And I would come in and sit down again and walk to my room and cry. And I don't remember talking to too many people. I think I may have said hi to about 3 people, but I was hiding and I was shedding, right? And that's okay too. Just make sure you receive some hugs. And the other thing that I want to share with you guys that is important for us, and I share this with our practice members, I share this with our team. Oh, by the way, when we were talking about loving, I want you guys to remember to love upon your team. We could not do what we do without our team, right? I could not take care of all the people I take care of if I have to worry about answering phones. I could not be able to take some extra time to take care of me or do some extra seminars or whatever it is if I didn't have my amazing associate, right? But you want to love upon them, let them know how important they are, let them know that they are appreciated, whether it's gifting. I love to go out to lunch with my team. I love to take them to seminars. A couple of weeks ago, we went to a seminar and we actually took an extra day off and I took them to a theme park, because we work hard and I make sure that we all work hard, but you also want to love upon them by making sure that you share good experiences. Bring your team to DE. They love to see other offices that are doing the same thing that we're doing. They love to see other offices that are living a mission-driven life. When they hear about the principle, when they hear about the mission from other doctors and they meet other CAs, it actually fires them up and it gives them a sense of ownership to make sure that they drive that practice, that they drive the front desk. So very important factors to make sure that you bring your team members to DE, not just yourselves. And every now and then you guys get to see my team members, my associate doc, because I am blessed actually to have them. And then back to point number 4, it's about preparation. And this is what I was going to say before. I talk about preparation to our practice members. I talk about preparation to my team. And I remind myself on a regular basis about preparation. There's a doctor that some of you guys have a chance to meet that he hasn't been to DE for a while. His name is Dr. David Yachter. And Dave Yachter was speaking at a Saturday Night Live a long time ago. And he said something that has stayed with me ever since. And it is proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. The 6 P's, right? Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. And I've come to realize that proper preparation doesn't mean just like that morning having everything in place. Proper preparation starts from the night before. What are we listening to before bedtime? Are we saying gratitude before bedtime? Are we preparing physically what we need to have ready for the next day? Something as simple as laundry or something as simple as a meal, right? Preparation starts the night before. Preparation for the numbers that you want to reach and see next week started last week, right? You want to prepare way before so that you can actually manifest your dreams and your goals. So proper preparation is very important. Preparing the night before for the next day. Whatever you're preparing and organizing in your life right now is what's going to manifest in 6 months from now or a year from now. So proper preparation is a key thing for us to be able to reach those numbers or reach those goals and serve more people. Because when we're talking about numbers and when we have listened to Dr. Sid and when we listen to people on stage about how many people are we serving, each person that we serve is a life transformed. And that's why we talk about the numbers, because we want to make sure that we're transforming those lives. At the same time, you get nothing with a whole bunch of numbers if you're not 100% connecting with each and every individual. How do you grow? By being present, by connecting with each individual heart to heart and giving a masterful adjustment. And with that said, a masterful adjustment, I'm going to share with you guys a story. Yesterday I had a very low and a very high. Yesterday was like a day that I was like all over with my emotions. And what happened, what brought me to a low was actually a hard moment where I was taking x-rays of a young lady. And as I took the x-ray and I took an A to P lumbar, I saw a mass that looked like an osteosarcoma. And I'm literally standing there in front of the screen and my heart stopped because this young lady, she's 30 years old, she was referred to me by her father. And her father's a wonderful human being. And she was a wonderful human being as we did her history and got to connect with her. And I take the x-ray and I look and I literally just stood there still. And I said, what do I do? And I froze. And in my 20 years of practice, I have not frozen like that before. And just as I froze and I stared at the screen, Dr. Melissa, my associate doctor, walked right in and she looked at the screen and then she smiled and she said, I'll help you. And that kind of helped me snap out of it. And I went back and took that lateral lumbar. And then I just gave the file to Dr. Melissa and I said, hey, Dr. Melissa's going to walk you to the front and get you scheduled for your doctor's report. We're going to see you tomorrow. And my heart froze because I love her family and it's a hard moment to have to give somebody some bad news. But I went ahead and sent the x-rays to a radiologist and I said, I need some answers right away. I'm not going to be able to sleep. And Dr. Cliff was actually amazing and said, it usually takes me a couple of days, but I'm going to get this to you right away because he knew how my heart was aching. Thankfully, I got the report by the end of the day and things don't look that bad. We're putting it in God's hands. I got to speak to her, but long story short, I was blessed that at that moment she walked in and was a major area of support. And so it's so important for us to be with a team that's grounded. And how do we get a team grounded? We teach them all those wonderful things that we know about the principle, about how to create a good life, about how to stay grounded. And then I went from that to actually having a wonderful moment where I actually have a young man that brought in his dad. They were actually flying down from Jacksonville and their flight got delayed. And the son said, we're not missing this appointment. I'm driving and I'm picking up dad and I'm driving down. And he drove 5 hours to come for me to review the MRIs that they had taken, for me to review all the information because dad is scheduled for a spinal surgery. And then I said, we need x-rays, and we took x-rays the way that we take them, and then I reviewed them with dad. And we provided such clarity in every word that we gave, right? And we provided such clarity in reviewing with dad how his spinal misalignments and the spondylo that he has in his low back and the subluxations that he has in his neck were completely disconnected him from his expression of health and healing, right? And one of the reason I share with you this story is we want to look at bringing excellence into every area of our life, and it's excellence in service, in being present, right? And in connecting, where we give such clarity that they know that there's nothing bigger than life and that your office is the best place that they could be. This son and this dad literally drove 5 hours past hundreds of chiropractic offices, not because I'm great, but because chiropractic is great and because I'm so committed to making sure that people receive an extraordinary adjustment, an extraordinary doctor's report. I have such clarity of why chiropractic is so great that they actually committed to staying here. We're seeing him twice a day and they're going to postpone the spinal surgery. And once again, it's not about me, it's about chiropractic. But my commitment is to have chiropractic be excellent and be excellent in people's eyes. And how do we do that? By working in ourselves, by shedding the husks, by working in our technique, by working in our communication, by working in our presentation, so that every person you speak to, every person you touch, every person you educate on the principle of chiropractic, their lives get transformed. And so I get to take care of dad, I get to take care of son. They're going to stay here. They're going to drive up to Jacksonville. They're going to come back down in 2 weeks, get another week full of care, seeing him twice a day, right? And I think the biggest thing I want you to take from this is don't be mediocre. Be excellent. Be passionate. Be obsessed. There's nothing greater than chiropractic. Same thing. Sorry, I got this little booger here scratching at the couch. There's nothing greater than chiropractic. There's nothing bigger than life, right? And if we are mediocre about how we communicate, if we're mediocre about our adjustments, we dwindle down the importance of the principle. We dwindle down the effectiveness of a chiropractic adjustment. So please be obsessed. And if you're feeling burned out, if you're not sure what to do, stop it. make sure you come to DE, because there's nothing better than plugging yourself to amazing principal chiropractors, than exchanging hugs with dozens of people, then shedding and just bringing up your life so that you can actually expand more lives out there. That's all I have to say tonight. Sorry if she's been distracted, guys.
Well, that was wonderful, Jennifer, but introduce your friend. Who's your buddy?
Hopefully she wasn't too distracting. She's trying to dig a hole on the couch.
Not at all. We are dog lovers. We're cat lovers. We're people lovers. We anybody that's got a spine lovers. So the dog fits right in. That was well said about being excellent. And, you know, when you were giving the talk to us, your skill of being present was like you were just talking to one person, but it expanded to a universe. It was very focused. It was very driven. It was very excellent. And it moved a lot of people, including myself. You did a fabulous job. You know, a lot of times before I go to adjust a patient, the first thing I do is I just slap my thigh. That just brings me into my presence. Sometimes we need a little pain and then I'm with the patient, because there's a lot of things definitely goes on, but I just go time when I hit my thigh, and then we're with the patient. So it's always good to remind people that it's a one-on-one exchange right there, and stay connected.
100%. And I think that when we're being pulled in so many different directions, whether it's through social media, whether it's through the news, as a fellow Floridian, you know that when it's hurricane time, right, everybody's brain's all over the place, right? And so one of the things, Blossom, stop, baby. One of the things that I love to do when it's hurricane time is I love to be that grounded force that people can actually come in and feel the love and feel the peace. And in order for us to transform lives, number one is the adjustment, and number two is we have to be grounded, because as leaders, we have to be grounded. We cannot, what is it? Who can anchor to an unanchored mind?
That's right.
Like, hello, that is so important that we stay grounded, right? Because like that, we can be present and we can provide an excellent adjustment, and we can also connect with that person that might be going through major turmoil. You know, we hear time and time again of stories of people that come in and wanted to take their life, but they were present. We were present with them. We adjust them, and that changes. That does not happen if we're not present. That's actually one of the biggest things.
And we're basically a only profession that really relies on being that present.
Yeah, absolutely.
A job well done, and I can't wait to see you at DE in 2 days. Bye, everybody. Enjoy. See you then. Lots of love.